The person with real money is usually not the one trying to prove it. That is the trap. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because once you learn the quiet signs of wealth, flashy spending starts looking different. Most people look for wealth in the car, the watch, the house, the vacation photos. But real wealth is usually quieter than that. It looks normal, boring, almost invisible. Sign 1. They do not rush to impress you. Meet Ryan. He is 46. He drives a normal SUV, wears plain clothes, lives in a normal neighborhood. Nothing about him screams rich. But at a family dinner, someone complains about college costs. Ryan casually says, "Yeah, we just paid the semester bill." No stress, no dramatic story, no "it was so expensive" performance. Just calm. That is the first sign. Secretly wealthy people do not rush to prove they have money, because they already know. People chasing status need applause. People with options usually do not. Sign 2. Their car is paid off, not perfect. Ryan's car is not embarrassing. It is just not exciting. Clean, reliable, paid off. That last part matters. A flashy car can be a flex, but a paid off car is freedom. Secretly wealthy people understand this. A car is transportation, not a personality. They would rather own a boring car than lease an impressive payment. Sign 3. Their house does not match their income. This is one of the biggest tells. Ryan could afford a bigger house, but he does not want the bigger mortgage, bigger taxes, bigger repairs, bigger furniture, and bigger pressure. Secret wealth often lives below its approval limit. That means they do not buy the most house the bank allows. They buy the house that lets them breathe. Because a house can either protect your freedom or quietly become your boss. Sign 4. Their clothes are quiet. Secretly wealthy people may dress well, but they rarely dress loud. No giant logos, no desperate flex, no outfit that needs strangers to understand the price. They buy quality, comfort, and durability, not attention. That is why you can walk past someone with 7 figures invested and assume they are just running errands, because they are. The outfit is not the announcement. The freedom is. Sign 5. They know their numbers. Ryan does not check his net worth every morning, but he knows the ballpark. He knows what comes in, what goes out, what gets invested, what earns interest, what costs interest. That awareness matters. Ramsey Solutions' National Study of Millionaires surveyed over 10,000 US millionaires and found that 8 out of 10 invested in their company's 401k plan. Secret wealth is not random. It usually comes from boring numbers repeated for years. Sign 6. They do not carry expensive debt. This is where fake wealth and real wealth separate fast. Fake wealth says, "I can afford the payment." Real wealth asks, "Why would I pay interest on something losing value?" Credit card balances in the US stood at $1.25 trillion in Q1 2026, according to the New York Fed. That is a lot of people paying for yesterday. Secretly wealthy people hate that feeling. They use credit as a tool, not a lifestyle. If this is helpful, tap like. More people need to spot real wealth, not just flashy spending. Sign 7. They have boring income. Here's the funny part. Secretly wealthy people often do not have dramatic jobs. Not always celebrities, not always tech founders, not always people with luxury offices. Ramsey's Millionaire Study listed the top 5 careers as engineer, accountant, teacher, management, and attorney. That should change how you see people. The quiet teacher, the accountant next door, the engineer who never upgrades anything. They might be building more wealth than the person posting luxury brunch every weekend. Sign 8. They are often first-generation wealth. A lot of secretly wealthy people did not inherit millions. They built slowly. The Ramsey study found 79% of millionaires did not receive any inheritance from parents or family, and only 3% inherited $1 million or more. That matters. because it means wealth is not always a family castle. Sometimes it is one ordinary person making unusually consistent decisions. No big speech, no perfect timing, just years of not ruining the plan. Sign 9. They buy time, not attention. This is a deep sign. Secretly wealthy people spend money to reduce stress, not to create applause. They may pay for convenience, a cleaner, a good accountant, a direct flight, a reliable repair. Not because they are lazy, because they understand the point of money. Money is supposed to buy back time, options, and peace. Fake wealth buys things that create more pressure. Real wealth buys breathing room. Sign 10. They have invisible assets. This is the part most people never see. Ryan's real wealth is not in the driveway. It is in accounts, index funds, retirement plans, cash reserves, a small business interest, maybe a rental, maybe dividend-paying investments, maybe nothing exciting at all. The visible stuff is often the smallest part. The invisible stuff is what compounds. And that is why secretly wealthy people can look average while quietly becoming harder and harder to break. If you trade or invest and want research without guessing from social media hype, Stock Market Guides offers stock scanners, trade setups, and alerts based on historical backtest research. Check the Stock Market Guides link in the description. Sign 11. They do not need everyone to know. Ask Ryan what he does with money and he gets boring fast. Oh, we just try to keep things simple. That is it. No lecture, no screenshots, no portfolio reveal, no let me tell you how I made money speech. Secretly wealthy people protect privacy because privacy protects peace. The more people know, the more opinions, requests, comparisons, and pressure show up. Quiet money stays quiet for a reason. Sign 12. They think in decades. This sign changes everything. Most people think in payments. Secret wealth thinks in decades. They do not ask, can I afford this monthly? They ask, what does this do to my freedom over 10 years? That mindset makes them patient. They hold investments longer, drive cars longer, stay in houses longer, avoid lifestyle upgrades longer, not because they hate nice things, because they love control more. Sign 13. They are strangely calm. This is the final sign, and maybe the strongest one. Secretly wealthy people are calm around money, not careless, calm. A surprise bill does not destroy the month. A market drop does not make them panic sell. A friend's new car does not make them question their life. They do not need to win every comparison because they are not playing the same game. That calm is not personality. It is margin. Emergency savings, low debt, strong investments, multiple options. When you have enough room, life feels less loud. So how do you spot someone secretly wealthy? Look past the obvious. Not the car, not the logo, not the vacation photo. Look for calm. Look for patience. Look for low debt. Look for boring consistency. Look for someone who can say no without panic, because real wealth is not always loud. Sometimes it is the person at the barbecue wearing plain sneakers, driving a paid-off car, and quietly paying cash for something everyone else has to finance. Here is the real takeaway. Flashy spending is not the same as wealth. Secret wealth usually looks calm and ordinary. Paid-off assets beat impressive payments. Invisible investments matter more than visible flexes. Real money gives options, privacy, and peace. I'm curious to hear from you. Which sign surprised you most? Do you know someone secretly wealthy? Drop your answers in the comments and subscribe for more educational personal finance content. Thanks for watching.